okay? But there's a high percentage of the population in Ghana is Hindu.
Right.
Right? You know what KFC in Ghana do?
I don't have a clue.
Them put a bucket of KFC chicken and surround it with deer.
What trouble is this? Why would they do such a thing?
A bucket of dead. A bucket of meat. In the most spiritual time.
Yes.
A time when Hindus fast for 4 or 5 weeks before.
Yes.
Cleanse, pray. Diwali, there's no meat on Diwali.
What?
It's
Why?
vegetables, it's
Yes.
vegetarian, it's pumpkin, it's bodhi.
Yes. I don't know what to say, boy. Like, I guess things just going from bad to worse.
But I want to tell you, just on Wednesday, on the eve of Diwali, we heard that the PNM PTSC say that bus drivers cannot drive the population in their kurta for Diwali. What is really going on?
But I wanted to ask, did they put on their kurta in the past, or is it the first time they're doing this, or?
I asked that question after when you asked.
Okay,
They say
right,
they've done it before, and they say for emancipation,
My God.
the brothers just put on the dashiki and thing and look good, look resplendent. And on top of that, remember what Mr. Ramdat said? And another person and 2 bus drivers from Arima confirmed for me that for the last 7 years, they have not received any uniform. So many days, they go out with their own shirt. Like they press out a white shirt or a nice light blue or a plain color, and they wear their own shirt to go out because they receive no uniforms. So how all of a sudden this uniform, which you could not give to the drivers to keep them in the uniform, how come all of a sudden there's an instruction by the PNM board of PTSC or was it that there was a rogue manager down in South? Because you notice all the newspapers, not a word, you know. Not a word, like that didn't happen. That never happened. They don't, you see, anything that when they show PNM to be divisive, to be disrespectful, as they are, the cabinet of the PNM is disrespectful, divisive. They try to push, just like Rowley, race card and everything, to divide this country, and we do not want to be divided. All of we is Trinbagonian. We love and respect everybody, every religion. Respect you.
Every time.
But it's PNM just to stay in power. They like to divide. They like to differentiate. Look at our bacchanal with vaccinated and unvaccinated. Rowley and them pushing that. And men buy that and drink medicine for Rowley and then and come out and talk the most nonsense I ever heard. About save the ICU for the vaccinated only. But the media, not a story. 8 drivers in San Fernando PTSC were debarred from driving, from working because they had on kurta. Because they had on their Hindu festival wear, their festive occasion.
Yes.
They were overdressed to drive. But not in Trinidad under the PNM. They were told they could not drive, they could not work.
Sad.
But the media, not a story, no newspaper, no TV, nothing. When I tell all you that mass media is what keeps PNM in power, all you don't understand the power of the media. The media could make an innocent man guilty and a guilty man innocent. So in Diwali, we see disrespect. All of us know we love when Diwali come about. When Emancipation Day come about, when Eid come about, to see our fellow citizens in the regal way. We like that. Yes. We like when you go in office, if you go by B-Mobile to pay a bill, the staff dress in their wear, the ladies in the sari, the men in the kurta.
You should see those ladies here at 97.5, boy.
But that's what you enjoy that.
Yes,
It is elegant, it is beautiful, it is respectful, and it makes the occasion grand.
Yes.
But not under the PNM.
Why, boy?
But I don't understand. And the main PNM man, all in Guyana, how you put a bucket of chicken KFC? surrounded by deers who...
So then,
Oh, Lord. I couldn't believe... somebody send... Different people send that to me 11 times, you know. You know, the first 6 times I get, I say that somebody mama guy in KFC, you know. But then the KFC come and apologize.
they did. What?
Yeah, but no apology. What kind of stupidity?
Yeah.
I mean, apology. That what way? So all you never read a book.
Like you slap me and then you say sorry,
Not
Corky.
you slap me, you kick me, you knock out my teeth, and when I'm looking up at you, you butt me, you pick me back up and cuff me down again, and then come and say, sorry, Corky.
Yeah.
No, it's so dumb. It's so disrespectful.
Yeah.
A bucket of dead, you know. And not no nice flavorful dead, a greasy set of dead.
Oh gosh.
With DR around it. Spiritual, light to shine. You put a bucket of darkness and then try to light it up with DR. No, man. But it's not only that.
Yeah.
We are the Minister of Education earlier in this Diwali season. Yeah. She's a member of parliament for somewhere there, Santa Cruz up there, St. Anne somewhere, right? Her constituency group that she's the head of for that constituency, the member of parliament, the Honorable Minister of Education, she advertised a fundraiser for Diwali, a Diwali fundraiser, curry with chicken.
Oh.
And that the Minister of Education of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago that is in charge of educating all of our children. Christian, Catholic, Anglican, Pentecostal, Muslim, Hindu, Orisha, Baptist, atheist, Buddhist, Jah Rastafari, Rastafarians, all our children. The Minister of Education is in charge of to ensure that all get an equal shake, equal respect, equal education, and have a chance to succeed. And her constituency, in the height of Diwali, advertised a Diwali fundraiser, chicken $45.
What?
Then they don't stop there, no. We have an independent senator. Every time I say that phrase now is at a laugh. Right? All former independent senators who were really independent, if they are alive, they must be shaking their head. And if they're dead, the ashes must be blowing in the wind to see where we have come from since Helen Drayton became the first PNM, pure PNM, so-called independent senator. 23 out of 23 contributions against Kamala Persad says, and she independent. And as soon as Kamala lost, she jump out and jump on PNM board, you know, PNM chairman of CNMG to push PNM propaganda down the country to turn PNM in the country into PNM, you know. And when she moved, from there, she get promoted upwards in the PNM, you know. She's now the PNM chairperson of the NIB, you know, in charge of $2 billion of taxpayers' dollars under the PNM. But just the day before, and during the election, she was an independent senator. But the day after, when they say PNM win, the next day she's a PNM. They say that's possible. Helen Drayton, all you're real good. So every time now I say that word, that phrase, independent senator, I just have to laugh. Because they have some independent senators sitting down behind me there in the Senate.
Right.
When them debate, they're better than every speaker on the PNM side in favor of the PNM bill.
Okay.
No, I'm not joking. I'm telling you. The PNM just bring a bill. Whoever bill they bring. And plenty of the bills will be total rubbish. Like when they come to gut procurement legislation or come to put revenue authority for the PNM to control your taxation and seizure of your assets and go in your business and macro your business and so on. They have a PNM, they have an independent senator that when they contribute, their contribution is stronger and more powerful than anything the PNM give in support of the PNM bill.
My gosh.
You hear why there, eh? But they had an independent senator who said, and I quote, people have money for carnival and they have money to spend in the Nagar, but they don't want to pay property tax. Let me repeat because you're getting confused. You can't believe a human being could be so dotish, right? That is the confused look on your face. Let me repeat what the independent, let me do inverted commas here. The independent senator, let me repeat what she said, you know.
Okay.
All you don't have money to pay property tax, but they go find money to play carnival and to enjoy carnival and to spend in the Nagar at Diwali. One.
Yes.
To compare the spiritual festival, a time of prayer, time of worship, to carnival when we drinking rum and soda and watching boom boom roll.
Yeah.
That in itself is so disrespectful. I cannot even fathom that those words came out of an adult who has grown up in Trinidad and Tobago. It's so sickening. It's so myopic. It so lacks understanding of what Diwali means to the Hindu community. It is so damaging. It is so painful. It's like daggers in the heart of a high percentage of the Trinidad and Tobago community from an so-called independent senator who's supposed to represent everybody.
Yeah.
Number two, to go into the Nagar is free. You don't have to pay to go into the Nagar.
Right.
So the assertion that you have money to spend on Diwali, how you know who went in the Nagar to spend anything? How you know people spend any money? Thirdly, when you go in the Nagar, it's about community. It's about bhajans. It's about singing spiritual songs. It's about worship. It's about prayer. The Bhagavad Gita. It's about sharing, community, family. These are all positive things. So how can an independent senator suggest that that is a waste of money if anybody goes there and buys anything like some deers or an outfit or something to celebrate or buys whatever they want? It's their money.
Yeah.
How can an independent senator describe that spending as frivolous spending and compares it to when we buy rum and soda and pay for a ticket to go in a fete or wine or play carnival? In the same breath, you know. And no apology. No, it's been about 20 days since that statement. Not an apology. So you tell me this independent senator did not know or did not hear that people felt disrespected by her words?
Yeah.
And they want to talk about parliament and marketplace and fish market? They have no class. They cannot even apologize when making the most ludicrous, ridiculous, dotish, insensitive, disrespectful statements.
Yeah.
Money spent on a spiritual... So people who spend money for Christmas to put up a creche or go in the church and take $100 and put it in the envelope, in the basket. Why she didn't say that? That is frivolous spending. All you want to go and put money for Christmas to feed poor people and to put in the basket and to put up a creche and you don't want to pay property tax. Why she didn't say that? Because that is the same, that is as disrespectful what she said. I'm just trying to draw a comparison to show how stupid and disrespectful it was. And them like to try to hold up their nose in the air like them is some elite, like we in the colonial system, we in the crown, like we still have the flipping queen. Look all your fire burn all your yes. Massa they done. Massa they done long time. And then they have a next one. Next one say he bring a motion against all the opposition senators. Because we say, or I say, in crosstalk, or anyway, that they are not independent. So this Massa, he named Senator Vera.
Oh.
Independent Senator Vera. Well, let me tell you something, Vera. You must be think we living in pre-1962. You must be feel we living in the 1800s. You must be living in a dream world. But let me tell you something, Independent Senator Vera. Massa, they done. What you feel it is? You some elite. You some Superman. You some deity up there that nobody can ask you nothing. Boy, fire burn you, boy. You talking. You have to defend yourself. You want to come and debate. You want to come down in the guile of politics. Well, welcome. Yeah. Let me start at the beginning with you, Senator Vera. Because I have the Hansard right here of you and the debate of privilege against me because I did a fairy tale on douglAR Politics, Planet Senator. It hurt you so much that you analyzed and came to conclusions about Senator, who it was about, and so on. But me and mind that, you're entitled to your own opinion on stupidity. But you said on the Hansard, without any information whatsoever, without asking me a question, without requesting medical records, without asking me for my specialist number, without any investigation, you came to a conclusion and stated on Hansard that I, Senator Anil Roberts of the opposition bench, was playing games and faking asthma in order to thwart the process and to escape privilege committee and the rulings. You imputed improper motive on me. And you were wrong. Your conclusions were wrong. You francoment lied. I have asthma. My 3 children have asthma. Anybody who know me on TV know how much asthma I walk around with a pouch, cocky to see day.
Yes,
with my asthma medicine that I don't play. Asthma is not no joke. And asthma and COVID don't mix. COVID does kill you by shutting down your lungs, Senator Vera. Mr. Man who attacking. And you are independent man, so you say. You don't know me and I don't know you. But you just gone in the Senate on the record, standing up. Not crosstalk. You stand up on the record and cast aspersions on my character. Say that I was attempting to thwart or corrupt a senatorial process. You were wrong. You lied. You had no evidence of the fact. And you have not apologized. And you come in to talk about democracy. And you bring in a motion against who? Bring a motion against your flipping self. You're not even a man. You know you're wrong. You know for weeks you know you're wrong. I come in the Senate when you see me, you put your head down and walk away like a little girl because you're afraid to stand up and say sorry because you're not a man, boy. You come to put a motion by waiting for the motion. I want the motion in the ocean. I want to debate first because I will show them what you are and why I know what you are. And give them evidence to the fact of what you are based on your voting record, based on your statement, based on your Hansard, based on your job selection. So don't play games, Senator Vera, and feel anybody afraid you. What you feel this is? Massa, they done. You feel we on a plantation? You feel because you pink. We were what the browns and the blacks afraid of you? Look at me shaking. Of course, Senator Vera, you're coming for Anil. Oh my gosh. Boy, we emancipate, boy. You living in a dream world up where in your air condition, boy. You know, and you step into the guile now. You were sitting down in this independent thing cloak with privilege and be careful of fire burn you jump in. Well, all right, welcome. What you feel, Massa? Massa, you want me to bow down? You want the door closed? Oh, Massa, please, can I open the door for you, Massa? Massa, could I talk in the Senate, please? How can I talk? Can I say, no cross-talk, Massa? Sorry, Massa. Do you have your belt? Oh, it's a thick brown belt, Massa. No, Massa. My back is hurting from the licks you give me, Massa. That what you want? Eh? Like you ain't even read the PNA manifesto from 1956? You ain't read Dr. Williams. You ain't know that colonialism done. You ain't know that slavery done. Just because the lady who appoint you living on a plantation where black people were hung and she boasting that they spent 110 million to refurbish a plantation slave house and tell the people come and tow it. You feel because she appoint you, somebody afraid you? Look, Massa Vera, cool yourself, boy. Bring your motion. You use the defender, the PNM? Well, come true. Because Clarence can't debate. Imbot can't debate. Gopi School, Lord help she. Lezama Lisa, she begging for a seat. Then all of them PNM come, you feel you can handle it? Well, come true, Massa. But just remember, Massa, they done. Corky, let me take a little, it finito.
Yeah.
This little pink man, feel like where he feel it is. He feel, boss man, you ain't know where he come from, you understand? My father is a big black Tobagonian brilliant lawyer.
Yes.
My mother is a Francoman Sari wearing Indian brilliant lawyer. My brother, Oxford National Scholarship lawyer, Harvard Law. My other brother, national champion, sportsman of the year, swimmer and lawyer. Dean's list, economic masters, children. You feel afraid you have to be joking, boy. Massa, they done. Stop looking at your color and feel you big. When you feel you on top of the douglAR, you can talk down to black people and Indian because you are some elitist. You stay in your plantation house. But if you feel that the slaves will be quiet and they will listen to you, but you have to be dreaming, boy, Vera. And let me tell you something. The next time you impugn anything on my character or impute improper motive, it's straight up in the court you will go. Say it outside. You understand? Because you're playing under the privilege. Come outside. Step outside and say Anil Roberts was faking asthma to get away from some stupid privilege committee. You feel the PNM so powerful because you afraid PNM or you adore PNM or you love PNM. That's your business. I couldn't care less about Rowley and Rawil, a makeup man, like Crybaby, a Stuart Smallpin Young. Who can't even left foot right foot, he nearly tripped down in St. Anne's when he tried to dance. You feel I care about any of them? So you feel I will try to not go to privilege committee? What they could do me? Lock me up? Beat me? What they gonna do? Put Kunta Kinte on the tree and all they go whip me? What you feel? Vera, Massa, they done. Senator Massa, run some mad and come back. You're a madman or
Diwali is in the air and with it comes festivities and fasting. Luckily, my family and I can enjoy a nice, tasty veggie burger thanks to Royal Castle. Whether it's lunch or dinner, the Royal Castle veggie burger is great on its own or in a combo with a side and a 16-ounce drink. And it's healthy too. A nutritious patty made with oats, lentils, chana, potatoes and carrots. Inside a soft bun with tomatoes and lettuce. So for this season of lights, try the tasty and healthy veggie burger. Shub Diwali from Royal Castle.
Rook the Rhine Home Center, Carney Savannah Road, Chabonas. Manufacturers of indoor and outdoor furnishing, patio set, kitchen cupboard, bathroom and house doors in any color and design in mahogany, teak, cedar and pine. You order, we deliver. Rook the Rhine Home Center, Carney Savannah Road, Chabonas. Satisfying every customer. Call Rook the Rhine Home Center, 665-7667.
It's time to make your community better than before. Join yours truly, Kieran Joseph Samaru, on Your Community. We'll be discussing the important issues with the important people in the place most important to you, your community. Join us every Tuesday at 9 p.m. right here on MCTV as we know and make your community better than before.
Greeted in the wonderful name of Jesus. My name is Bishop Kelvin Khan from Endurance Ministry International. Our new location is in Railway Road, Londonville. You can tune into 97.5 every Sunday morning from 6 a.m. till 8. Tell your nanny and your nana, your chachi, your chacha, your grandpa, your grandma. We need to pray for our nation. God bless you. Thank you.
Yes, and we're back inside. So let us be clear. Independent Senator Vera, how dare you criticize opposition senators? How dare you take the position that you are some elitist? If we in the UNC are making a point that the independent senators, the entire institution is appointed by the president, and therefore there should be a debate on whether the independent senators should even be involved in a process which involves their employer and the person who handpicked them. Yes. This is a very serious issue and speaks to the principles of the separation of power, conflict of interest, and apparent bias. It has nothing to do with whether y'all are actually biased. That next thing. Now we go down in there now. We go research down in there. Because the first benchmark is apparent bias. And anyone will know that any human being who is dependent on another for their income, for their food on the table, for their perks, for their position, would more than likely, on the reasonableness test, lean towards a bias towards that person.
Right.
That is fair debate based on constitutionality, law, separation of powers, conflict of interest, apparent bias. So don't feel that because you feel you in some position in the Senate that nobody could discuss issues and you could do what the hell you want. Who went and nominated you Queen of England?
Oh my gosh.
Huh? You may dress like the Queen, but you just come in to attack. What about your attack of the UNC? If you're an independent senator, who gave you the authority to go to the media and attack UNC opposition senators who are representing 309,000 people? How come you never attack the PNM? How come you did not attack Keith Christopher Rowley? You weren't an independent senator there, but the issue went on during your term. Right. On Emailgate. Why didn't you make a scathing statement against utilizing the parliament to slander, attack, and lie on individuals of the highest order, on the Prime Minister, Kamala Persad-Bissessar? How come you didn't come out and make a statement about that? How did you find it was fair and democratic for the speaker to be muting the mics? You didn't say anything about that. But it's all right. I won't give you all this. This is just a teaser. When your motion against the opposition senators and myself comes up, well, boy, you brace. Brace, massa. Brace, because the slaves revolting. The slaves want to be emancipated. We fighting again because like you feel, massa, they come back. But Senator Vera, I telling you, massa, they done. Me, you know where you just lime, who you just go by, what gym you just go, what nightclub you just go, where you just play tennis or golf. I don't care. But wherever you got that concept that something about you elite and we in the UNC below you, you are sadly mistaken. Massa, they done, Senator Massa. Massa, you want us not to say anything, Massa? You want me just say, oh, good evening, yes, Massa, yes, Massa. What say you, Massa? You good, man, Massa? Massa, we sick today, Massa? No, Massa. 218-7762. 218-7762.
Yes.
And the more you talk, is the more the country knows where your bread is buttered. And I repeat, no one can sing for a supper that does not exist. If there is no supper, there can be no choir. But if there is a supper, people is trying to jump out themselves to defend. You can't understand what we're talking about with Bliss C. Prasad. You can't understand because you are in the same position. You are in the same exact position. Because Bliss C. Prasad was also on a PNM board. Are you on a PNM board, sir? What was that picture with you shaking Rohan hand? Rohan hand? Rohan is an independent or he's a PNM minister? Hello?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. Senator Roberts.
Good evening.
Senator Roberts. Are you hearing me properly, Senator Roberts?
I am hearing you properly, and I will hear you properly because I am in a free country, and Massa they done. And Dr. Williams make we independent, and then slave revolt from Toussaint Louverture in Haiti, free my black self, and then on the Fatal Razak we came, and then my other half, we indention, then we get land and we work hard. So I free.
Right. So Senator Roberts, let me tell you something. I call you today because you know something? I too getting licked up, or you attempting to lick me up in that motion. And I want to echo the sentiments of yourself and the rest of the senators that we not taking no aristocracy in no Senate. No aristocracy. No royalty. There are no royalty. There are no kingdom here. So that man can't be talking down to us. I don't know who he feel he is, boy. I don't know who he feel he is. Right? But you see, partner, yeah? Those who live in glass houses shouldn't pelt stone, you know. Shouldn't pelt stone. So when you see this man bring a motion there, partner, well, boy, God help him. I see you give a little hint there, Senator. I see you give a little hint there. But all I have to say is, I will be sitting with you inside the vessel.
I can't wait.
That is, those who live in glass houses should not pelt stones.
And let me just tell
you tonight.
I thank you, my brother. That is Senator Lyda. Good evening. Good evening. Well done. And let me just tell Senator Massa something. I don't know, you're not too bright. You now give me the green light to open up on you. Because when there is a substantive motion laid in the parliament on an issue, it opens up the debate. So you go ahead and open it. I wish they put that on the paper. But when we sit in next week Tuesday, I go in and ask Senator Mark to go first. Hello? 218-7762. Massa Day done, boy Vera. I don't know who you liming with, who you drinking with, who you knocking glass with. Me, I even know if you just drink. But somewhere you got confused. Hello?
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 Hello, good night.
Yes, good night, good night. 218-7762.
He was trying to listen on the radio.
When you call, listen on the phone. The radio may have a slight delay, and it will confuse you. 218-7762. I never see nothing, so. And they feel they could do what they want. I didn't hear none of them comment when Independent Senator Thomas Aye compared Diwali to Carnival and says a waste of money. I didn't hear none of them say that was disgusting and disrespectful. It's only disrespectful on one side. All right, Massa. Good evening.
Good evening, Anil.
Good evening.
Mr. Roberts, Senator, good evening.
Good evening.
Very, very good program as usual, but I'm not really a caller. What I'm calling for tonight is just to remind everyone who listening to your program that don't forget the 30th at the Savannah for 10 a.m. We're pushing back. But I'm going to continue listening to your very educational and forthright programs, and have a good night.
Thank
and just
you.
remember,
30th.
listeners, 30th of September, Queen's Park Savannah, and we pushing back. Thank you,
Very
Anil.
nice.
Have a
I
good
will
night.
be there. I will be there, my dear. The 30th. I wish the 30th was tomorrow. I wish Tuesday was tomorrow to go in the Senate. Vera, you can't apologize. Hello, good evening. 218-778-7762. 7762. 218-7762. You casting aspersions on my character. I don't know you. I never lied with you. I don't care about you. You don't know me. But you talking about my health situation, and I faking asthma in a COVID time when this government has overseen the death of 1,800 citizens. Over 50. How many, man? Over 57 people have died in the last 5 days. By that time, when the privileges committee was meeting, Brazilian variant was ravaging this country. There was no Pfizer vaccination, no Johnson & Johnson. and you criticize and unanswered attack my health and pretending that I am faking to pervert the cause of senatorial justice. Who the hell are you, boy? Massa? Senator Massa? Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
218-7762.
Correct, you're live.
Good evening, Mr. Senator Robert.
Good evening.
Don't go too hard on Mr. Verna. Just like you, he's a mulatto. He have black blood running through his veins. So go easy on him now, please.
Well, let me tell you something, my brother. Not everybody who have black blood running through their veins believes and is proud of the blackness. So now his blood not flowing like mine. His blood flowing like Raul Leon, the Oreo. Because there are some people who, no matter how much black blood in them, they feel the pink, they feel they are golfers, they feel they are elitists, they feel Massa Day still on. So me I care who he is, where he is, or where he come from. But I will let him know, Massa Day done, boy. Hello, good evening. Hello? 218-7762. 218-7762. Good evening. Hello? Somebody calling and they're not, y'all doing something wrong there. 218, not you, Corky, the caller. 218-7762. Right? Not everybody who is black is proud of their blackness. Not everybody who has black blood running through them understands what their job is. Black. Yeah, not everybody proud to be black. Some people shame to be black. Ask Rowley. Hello, good evening.
How he does run from me, so?
Who are running from?
You hear me now?
Yes.
Run from you, I don't even know who you are.
Good evening, my brother.
Good evening.
Let me have our dialogue. So I want to know, how come it reached down to Senator Vera's race? To make it seem that Massa Day gone. How it reached down to the man race?
Okay, you ask a question, let me answer you. Number one, did you read what he said? Did you read his comments? Did you read while I'm speaking? I'm speaking. All right. You see, you PNM, if you want to talk, come and talk. And nobody afraid you. It's just that you're uneducated, you don't understand, you're ignorant, and you can't debate. How it come down to his race? Because when you read the words that he says, when he describes the parliament, when the opposition is debating and fighting for debate, when section 55 of the constitution said debate must be free and freedom of speech is a right enshrined in the constitution, he described it as a fish market. And that's the elitist way. Who looks down at a fish market? Real people who understand the hard work and respect that fisherman get and fisher folk who sell in the market. That's a place of upliftment. That's a place of brilliance. That's not a place to be described in discouraging way, in a negative way. A fish market is a place of commerce. It's a place of brilliance. It's a place of discipline. You know how hard fishermen does work to go and catch fish to feed us, to give us protein. So when an elitist comes and talks that sort of language and then speaks about the opposition that we can't speak and the words and the language that he's talking about as if he is a member of the Queen's Council from the Crown, that's why his race came into it. Not only his race, his elitist class, whoever he limes with, because those words would not come out from a person who respects everybody. Good evening.
Good evening, Anil. That man who just called it, his name is Barrett Ariel.
I know. Don't he? I shame to even say Barrett Ariel because Barrett Ariel are bright people. They vote Saddam.
He's Vietnam, Iowa State all the time.
Yeah, let him go back Iowa.
About Diwali, about light over darkness, and he's trying to make it a race.
Yeah, don't worry, Hina. My dear, November 30th, we going down at 10 a.m. Don't worry about he. He had to vote how he had to vote because he have a limited set of brain cells and he only brain cells could say balize. I no time for silliness. Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening again, Senator Robert.
Good evening, sir.
This is your neighbor. This is your neighbor in the chair.
Yes, man.
In the Senate. Right, you know something, as I listen to you now tonight, Senator, you know what occurred to me when I listened to this hypocrisy from this fella here? You wasn't sitting down with me. Man came to that place we were sitting and brought a motion for reform of the public service, claiming that there was too much political interference into independent institutions, and that a lot needs to be done to reform the public service, all these different independent institutions. Now, what is so hypocritical is that here is a man bringing a motion against us now for us standing up, fighting against exactly what he came to that place and brought a motion in that place to defend against political interference. So we come now fighting for democracy, fighting against breaches in our constitution, clear breaches. And instead of this person asking the tough questions, even if you have the questions of your boss to find out what's going on, and asking the tough questions as to who interfered with the Police Service Commission, who stopped the president from sending the merit list onto the Parliament, and who caused that to be returned to the Police Service Commission in breach of our Constitution. Section 123(4) says that the president shall send the merit list on to the Parliament for debate. And somebody interfered in that process.
No, but he's not interested
shall anymore.
Yeah.
It was shall. It wasn't even shall marshal. It was maybe, and I go send it back. So here we have interference, and this fella, instead of asking the questions as to the in support of the own motion that he brought months ago when we sat down in that place, he coming to talk about we. Ah, boy, hypocrisy at the highest level.
Thank you, my brother. And not only that, talking down, and the language that he's using as if he's talking from somewhere on high, that he put himself on high, speaking down to the opposition and criticizing. And the mere fact that he could attack me and impugn my character and not even apologize and just go ahead, it shows what he thinks of other people. Good evening.
Mr. Anil Roberts.
How are you, sir?
And to Mr. Koki.
Good night. Good night.
You see, Mr. Anil Roberts, I spent 5.5 years in Guyana. And when the Civil War took place, you know, when the people from the peace, they come up on the Indian area, they say kill the Africans. And when they go down to the Afghan area, they say kill the Indians. People have to understand, we, the citizens of our land, we make it a heaven or we make it a hell. And I shouldn't, for me, I would have never given Mr. Vera fuel. You're an intelligent person, and all your team is a very intelligent set of people. Because the more you talk on Vera, the more he making points and taking notes, where he going to hit you. Keep silent on he and don't make him a topic.
I was going to hold on. I was going to agree with you, because on your first point, I'm going to move on, because your first point was forget Vera, he's not important, he's irrelevant. I agree with that point. Your second point about he taking notes on me, I couldn't care less about that. I go give him the notes to say, I go remind him what I say, when I say it, and how I say it. So that second point, you lost me there. But on your first point, fire burn Vera, me and nothing to say about it. Thank you, my brother. That good point. I go take your first point. I done it. Let me go on to my next topic there now. After this Royal Castle, and it's still veggie burger, even though Diwali just finished, we still respectful. We are going for a veggie burger by Royal Castle with a special pepper sauce.
Diwali is in the air, and with it comes festivities and fasting. Luckily, my family and I can enjoy a nice, tasty veggie burger thanks to Royal Castle. Whether it's lunch or dinner, the Royal Castle Veggie Burger is great on its own or in a combo with a side and a 16-ounce drink. And it's healthy too. A nutritious patty made with oats, lentils, chana, potatoes and carrots. Inside, a soft bun with tomatoes and lettuce. So for this season of lights, try the tasty and healthy Veggie Burger. Shubh Diwali from Royal Castle.
It's time to make your community better than before. Join yours truly, Kieran Joseph Samaru, on Your Community. We'll be discussing the important issues with the important people in the place most important to you, your community. Join us every Tuesday at 9 p.m. right here on MCTV as we know and make your community better than before.
Coming soon on MCTV, the local Palooza show and countdown. Hosted by TNT's rock ambassador. He's High Five, the metal merchant. See and hear all your favorite local rock bands. Keep it rock alive. Rhythms Communications Network. Local Palooza show and countdown. Coming soon on MCTV, the local Palooza show and countdown. Rook the Ride Home Center, Carney Savannah Road, Chabonas. Manufacturers of indoor and outdoor furnishing, patio set, kitchen cupboard, bathroom and house doors in any color and design in mahogany, teak, cedar and pine. You order, we deliver. Rook the Ride Home Center, Carney Savannah Road, Chabonas. Satisfying every customer. Call Rook the Ride Home Center, 665-7667.
And we back inside. And just to let you all know, in the Sunshine, page 8, Sunshine today, issue 179, Friday, 5th November 2021. No Vera, no Richards, not so. Thou doth protest too much. People are saying that Senator Anthony Vera's comments on social media were distasteful and that they are asking him to state if he was not singing for his supper. What was he singing for? They are asking the same of independent Senator Paul Richards. People are saying that they are disappointed that the two independent senators remained silent in the chamber on Thursday, 21st October, but became the independent rah-rah on the weekend. People are saying that if Vera had felt so strongly about his independent status, that he should have contributed to the debate and not on social media or through the Express. People are saying that Senator Paul Richards has described the impeachment proceedings as akin to a fish market, but he should know that a fish begins to rot from the head, and the head of the Electoral College is the Speaker, Bridget Anisette George. People are saying, says the Sunshine on page 8, Friday, November 5th, issue 179. People are saying that if Senator Vera thought anyone was conflicted, he had a duty to raise it in the chamber, because he made allegations and said that Jayanti Lakshmidiyal, UNC senator, was conflicted. But he didn't make these statements in the Electoral College where it should have been made. He made it in the Express and our newspaper because he is a star boy. He is the star boy senator, right? Massa senator. Vera voted against the motion without an appreciation of the salient facts, nor the sentiments of the rank and file members of the general public. People are saying the matter to which Vera referred was a different matter that had no bearing on the motion presented to the parliament. That's in the Sunshine. So, and as people are saying, Senator Vera and Senator Richards went in the newspapers to attack the opposition. If you are an independent senator, what gives you the authority to attack one side? What gives you the strength to attack one side? We've never heard you all attack the government in any form or fashion. No matter what they do. No matter what they do. They lock down the borders and bring in Delcy. And Delcy come with PDVSA officials. They lie and say it was about COVID-19. They didn't know it was Asdrubal Chavez. They buy oil from Wilmer Ruperti, Trafigura PTE, and sell it to Wilmer Ruperti, ES Euro Shipping. All you never say nothing. They lie and say that the money reached into a bank account on the 15th of March in RBC branch, but on the invoice of First Citizens Bank. You all not interested in that. You all only interested in the opposition was behaving like a fish market. Well, let me tell you all something. And hear this very clearly. If the independent bench were doing their job, then the opposition would not have had to fight so hard for democracy. Think about it carefully. The parliament, the electoral college, motions are made for debate. That's what we go there for, debate. We have freedom of speech in a democracy. So, if you are independent-minded, so you're not a PNM and you're not a UNC, you are a constitution, you are down the middle, you are a patriot, you are for Trinidad and Tobago. And if you are independent, wouldn't an independent person say, listen, I want to hear all sides of this argument. I do not accept any rules that thwart debate. I want to hear logical positions put forward by both sides so I can make up my independent mind on how I'm going to vote. Isn't that a novel thought? Isn't that, oh my goodness, isn't that shocking? Isn't that an interesting concept? And had the independent senators done their independent-minded thing, for the reasonable human being, any reasonable human being will say that if someone is independent, they need to hear both sides. They cannot make up their mind. There's no debate. They have not heard anything. They haven't heard the information. They haven't heard the arguments. They haven't heard the legal arguments. They haven't heard the constitutional arguments. They have not heard both sides. So if they were independent senators, as the framers envisaged, then the independent senators should have been the one to lead the way for democracy. They should have been the ones to state categorically that any rule that thwarts debate, that thwarts discussion, that thwarts information, that thwarts investigation, that thwarts argument, that thwarts the law, could not be democratic, could not be constitutional, could not be legal, and could not be right. So if the independent senators were truly independent, the opposition would not have had to behave like a fish market, Paul Richards. We would not, Anil would not have had to behave like he was in a fish market, since a fish market for you is something bad. Now, he's a fisherman. I like to go in the fish market. When I go in the fish market, it means I have fish to give and to sell. That means I caught fish. And on a day when you go out in the North Coast under this government without any protection and overfishing, there are many days you get what you call a pay last, which means you fish whole day in the hot sun and you get nothing. So if I end up in the fish market, not to sell, but I'll give my brothers them to sell it, that meant I had a good day fishing because I caught a fish. I don't see the fish market as somewhere bad. Paul Richards, I don't know what sort of elite bourgeois kind of concept you have. Maybe you misspoke. Maybe you heard a fish market. Fish market is a lovely place, brilliant place, a positive place, a place of hard-working, disciplined people, whatever, where, whichever country. In fact, some fish markets in Thailand, in Portugal, in Holland, are places where tourists pay money to go and see the fish market and to see what is going on and the action there and the sort of fish. In Japan, to go to the fish market for tuna, you're talking about millions of dollars per day. Big money men going with checkbook and writing check for 100,000 US, 500,000 US. That's a fish market. So I don't know what Paul Richards was talking about. But let's just think for a moment. Let's think about a brilliant concept that we are divided politically. The PNM is saying one thing. The UNC is saying another thing. And in the middle, there are independent senators who are not beholden to anyone, who do not believe for a moment that their job was given to them by anyone, including the president or the prime minister, that the salaries that they get, no, none of that is influenced by the president who's involved in this imbroglio. Let's pretend for a moment. Wouldn't it have been the job of the independents to stand up one by one and say, we believe in democracy. We believe in debate. We believe that the parliament, the Senate, the electoral college is a place for debate. We have read the Constitution. We have read the standing orders on motions. And we believe that there must be a debate. Isn't that a novel position? Don't you all think, let's do the reasonable man test. Wouldn't a reasonable man say that that's a fair position? And after the debate, however the vote goes, the vote goes. No one can get into the mind. No one could formulate the mens rea of individuals. Wherever the vote go, the vote go. But there should have been a debate. But for independent senators, all nine, you know, and now remember, independent means independent. Them not, it's not a team of independents, you know.
Okay.
They are not, you see in the UNC, we is a team of UNC. We is team UNC. Right. On the PNM, like team PNM, like government PNM. On the independent bench, it's supposed to be 9 independent human beings, you know. There's supposed to be no caucus, no consultation, no teamwork, no unity. So you telling me that 9 independent human beings individually came up to the same position to thwart democracy, to thwart debate, to breach the Constitution, to approve illegal guidelines, to vote and go, that all nine went that way against freedom of speech? Freedom of speech is something that is universal, that people have fought for, people have died for. But our 9 independent senators silently agreed to go silent. All you feel it funny, and then them have the audacity to attack me and to attack the UNC. Shame! I call shame. And all you read is Sunshine, you're going to hear more about it.
Yes.
So the independent senators were not interested. Look at a former independent senator, Martin Daly. And I'm no fan of Martin Daly. I've told you all countless occasions why. But remember, all 9 independent senators are not interested in what I'm going to read here, that Martin Daly is interested in. Okay? So forget Anil, forget the UNC, forget Wade Mark, Jolene John, David Nackett, Jayanti Latridal, forget Damian Ryder.
Right.
Martin Daly. OTP is a reference to the office of the president. As previously indicated, and this was opinion Sunday, 31st October, Halloween Day, right? As previously indicated, I respectfully consider that it was in breach of the Constitution for the president to participate and acquiesce in a withdrawal of the merit list and to block Parliament out of the process set down in the Constitution for the appointment of a commissioner of police.
Yes.
All 9 independent senators disagree with Martin Daly. Is that reasonable? Is that logical? Does that fit into your mind? Or does something seem awry? That 9 independent individuals thinking on their own went against something so logically put by a former independent senator and a senior counsel. So 9 out of 9 disagree with Martin Daly. So Martin Daly, whatever he said there, had to be the most ridiculous untruth in the history of the planet. Because 9 out of 9 independent disagree with he. He continued. In reality, the constitutional errors, which I have identified, constitutional errors, the independent senators are appointed under our Constitution, the framers believed, to ensure that the Constitution is upheld. so that nobody, if UNC in government, and we have the majority, the independent senators are there to ensure the Constitution is upheld and that no political executive with a majority can abuse the Constitution, can thwart processes, can breach the law. That's the function of the independent senators. But all 9 individually on their own without consultation came to a conclusion that everything Martin Daly say here is wrong. In reality, the constitutional errors which I have identified have led to the success of a constitutional coup. This is Martin Daly's words. A constitutional coup. And yet you all are telling me, while the independent senators are attacking us, the UNC, that they all agree. Because what was that motion brought by the leader of the opposition? Was to get an investigative tribunal to fact find, to get down to all the information for the population and come to a conclusion. And yet 9 independent-minded, independent senators who have no affinity to the boss who appointed them and they enjoy their perks, they have no bias whatsoever towards that. They sat silently. As the political directorate said, shh, no debate. Not even you independent senators, we don't want to hear all you. So they voted against themselves to talk. Them tell themselves shut up. So Paul Richards watch himself in the morning putting on his suit looking good and say, Paul, shut up. Senator Vera Massa say, oh, Senator Vera looking good, shut up, don't talk. And all the others. That's what they did. Let me continue. Hear what Martin Daly said, you know. In reality, the constitutional errors which I have identified have led to the success of a constitutional coup against the former Police Service Commission. And those persons whose names were on the merit list for the office of Commissioner of Police. If we are not vigilant, and who's supposed to be first vigilant? Yes, the opposition, well, we are. We so vigilant, they call we Mama Pool, they call we Fish Market, disgraceful, badgerism, disrespectful, all of that they call we. But we are being vigilant. But you know who's supposed to be extremely vigilant? Whose job it is to be so vigilant to protect the Constitution from a constitutional coup or from any abuse of the Constitution? The independent senators. Because they have no political affinity. Exact affiliation, thank you, Cocky. They have no political affiliation. So they are just there to read the words, see what's right and see what's wrong, and state their position. But yet all of them, all 9 independently went against senior counsel Martin Daly. Forget that they went against UNC. Forget we. They went against senior counsel Martin Daly. All of them disagree with he. Not one. So what, Martin Daly is what, a dance, a goat? He know what he talking about? He politically motivated. He could never be accused of being a UNC. In fact, I accuse him of being a PNM. He continued, if we are not vigilant, the police service may become something resembling a state enterprise in respect of comings and goings at the leadership level, at the whim of the political executive. And we're already seeing that. 19 people gone. But the man who called me but appointed to be executive accounting officer, 2 of his daughters remain. And the lady, Ram Galam, who was in the meeting with he to bust 19 citizens' throat, she come to say, no, we went through a process and my daughter didn't get fired. There was no conflict of interest, she said. I guess all 9 agree with that too. Martin Daly continued, without a commissioner of police, we have been left in an unstable place. We do not have even an acting commissioner of police. The public and probably the courts again, will assess the quality and validity of the reconstructive output of the Police Service Commission as it walks through the minefield created by the events of August 11th, 2021. The minefield. But all 9 independent senators didn't find us a minefield. You know it's a minefield? Bombs, secret, hidden. When they could walk and just blow up and dead, you don't know where to walk. It's just danger. That's Martin Daly's words, not mine. But yet all 9 independents individually did not find anything close to what Martin Daly saying. So they didn't want no tribunal to get down to the root, to the crux of this matter. They didn't want no debate. They didn't want to hear arguments. They didn't want to get facts. They didn't want a tribunal appointed by the Chief Justice independently to assess the situation so that UNC could hush and PNM could hush. Let the tribunal investigate and the report would stand. They didn't want that. But they're independent. You see the problem? So they could shout, they could protest, they could talk how much they want, they could call we bad thing, we bad job, we jam it, we all kind of thing. But you can't evade the facts. How is it that 9 out of 9 independent people? 9.
I can answer you.
Answer me.
Instead of independent, it should be dependent.
Okay, you see, Cocky? Well, you are a reasonable person. That's a reasonable test. And I am saying to all of y'all out there listening, y'all make up your minds. Because I am just presenting y'all with the facts. Now, understand this or furthermore. Imagine when you talk independence, the best example of independence in our jurisdiction is the court process, the judiciary. And the judiciary has certain rules, and they stick to their rules, rules of evidence, rules of questioning, cross-examination, rules of presentation, disclosure. The judiciary has very strict rules. Why? To protect its independence.
Yes.
Do you think that somebody will go in a court and say, defense, we here want to hear you today. We only hear in the prosecution, and when the prosecution done, I go in and rule. Would that be democratic? Would that be independent? Well, that's what took place in the Electoral College, and the 9 independents agreed with that separately and independently. Furthermore, let's just ask a question. If I am a judge in the High Court, and a case come up involving my brother, one of my brothers, whatever case, whether criminal or whatever case, but I is the judge.
Right.
And the case, the prosecutor coming against my brother. Should I sit and adjudicate on the case? Corky, you did not sign language, it's radio, you had to talk, you know, you're shaking your head.
No, you can.
Well, say
you wouldn't be able to.
I would not be able to sit down and adjudicate over my brother's case?
No.
Why not?
Because he's a brother, you know what I mean?
What about that? So is my brother, so what?
I think you might have to stay out.
Why?
A conflict of interest, is it?
Yes. Not is it? Because I love my brother, that's my brother.
Right.
You're damn right. You're absolutely correct. I have to stay out. I have to get off the bench. I have to leave it.
Yes.
I have to put somebody else to sit there, Cocky, you have to sit there.
Yes,
Somebody else has to sit there. I cannot sit there and adjudicate on my brother. But this 9 independent, well, let me say 8. Well, 9, eh? Let me say 8.
Yes.
These 8 independent senators said that I could sit down and adjudicate on my brother's case. You hear what I tell you? They disagree. You laughing. I talking serious thing about the Senate, the Electoral College of Trinidad and Tobago, and you laughing, Cocky. The 9 senators, independent senators, disagree with what you said. They are of the position that if I am a judge in a matter, and the matter is against my brother that I could adjudicate.
Trouble is this.
Let me give you another example. If it's a jury trial
Yes.
and my brother come up charged with some crime, God forbid, but I mean, lawyer, this is just hypothetical.
Yeah.
And they select me for jury duty and I assign. Number one, I say, well, they say, Mr. Roberts, you have the same name as the defendant. Any relation? I say, yes, that's my brother. Would they leave me on the jury? Or would I be struck off immediately by both sides?
Yes.
Huh? Because it's my brother.
Yes.
Do you know that 9 independent senators disagree with you that I should be able to sit on the jury and adjudicate and vote on my brother's future? On an issue, on a crime, on a thing involving my brother? They disagree with you. How you explaining that to me? I want somebody to explain to me. So I could be on a jury to hear a case against my brother. That's what the 9 independent senators said. Because one of the points the UNC was making, Khadija Amin, Kamla Prasad Bisesa, Anita Haynes, Jerlyn John Wademark, what's that? Christine C. Prasad, independent senator, is the sister of Bliss C. Prasad. And that she must love her sister, close to her sister, affectionate to her sister, and therefore cannot sit and vote on an issue which involves her sister. Is that vile? Is that fish market? Is that disgusting on behalf of the UNC to just ask that question? Number one. And number two, how is it possible that 9 independent individuals with no connection, not team independent senators, that 9 out of 9, including the sister, agreed that she should be able to vote in a matter involving her sister? So all 9 of them would have agreed that I could remain on a jury in a case against my brother. How many of you all outside there agree with that? We have 12,760 people listening on radio, 483 on Facebook. How many of you all out there agree with the 9 independent senators that Anil could sit on a jury, listen to a case against my brother, and give a legitimate vote? How many of you all agree with that? That's the nonsense that is going past here. And it's coming to talk about who behaved bad and who says singing for supper. If there is no supper, you cannot sing.
What's going on?
If there is no supper, one cannot sing. But if there is supper, let the music play. Paul Richards, what say you, my brother? Could call me, explain to me how you can agree that I could sit on a jury and adjudicate over a case involving my brother. And all 9, you know, but they're independent. And they came to the decision independently. My argument is the bacchanal was unnecessary.
Yes.
If the independent senators were reasonable. Because they are supposed to be the voice of reason in a highly politically charged affair or matter. See the problem in our place right now?
Yes.
But they are jumping on the high horse to attack one side, further showing and giving evidence to any criticism of them given by anyone. The mere fact that they're doing that and they feel it's okay to bad talk UNC, to shout down UNC, to go in the media and bad talk UNC senators and describe them in the most vile manner. The mere fact that they think that's okay shows that they are not independent. Because an independent person would know that that's not okay. That two political sides are in the Gael. And if you all choose to stay quiet rather than do your job to be vigilant to protect the Constitution, and you pass in some blows, well, you join that because you didn't do your job. Because there would have been no need for that had the independent senators spoke up and been reasonable. And reasonable, your people, the citizens, go out because they are there representing you. All of you. PNM, UNC, don't care. The independent senators represent each and every one of you. I represent 309,000 UNC. That's who I represent. I don't represent nobody else. I don't represent no PNM. You understand?
Yes, sir.
I represent 309,000 UNC. The PNM represents 298,000 official and 24,000 questionable. 298,000 official PNM voters and the questionable 24,000 for a total of 322,000. They represent them. The PNM don't represent no UNC. Now, having said that, they're in government. So, when they swear on the Bible, as government ministers and so on, when they're doing their job, they have to do it without fear or favor, malice or ill will. In our constitution, government is a difference, okay? But when they come to debate a bill, that's their government policy bill. So they are representing themselves and their 322,000.
Yes.
So UNC representing here. PNM representing here. And the independents supposed to represent all day. So if the place turned into a fish market, Paul Richards, it's because you didn't do your job, sir. If it was very disgraceful and the UNC was fighting for democracy to debate and interrupting the speaker, sir, Senator Massa, you didn't do your job. Because the Constitution enshrines freedom of speech. The Parliament, the Electoral College, the Senate is a place of debate. The standing orders are clear that a motion is to be debated. And the clarity and the people across the board wanted information. They wanted investigation. They want facts. So for all 9 independents to come down on the side of secrecy, no tribunal, no investigation, no fact-finding, no independent report, how could independents vote against an independent tribunal? Independents voting against independence, and y'all talking about big talk to bad talk UNC? All you don't give me a chance. I don't know if all you feel because all you name independent senator. We had to leave all you jump down in the Gael. You can't jump down in the bull ring and freight bull. In Spain when the bull come out.
Yes.
They have a man they fighting the bull. If you in the crowd and you jump down in the bull ring, you can't freight bull. You have to like bull because the bull there and the bull bad and the bull fighter has skill. But if you have no skill and you jump down in the bull ring and you can't freight bull, the bull will put you.
The bull will fix
The bull will fix you good and proper.
Really?
Let me go ahead, Look at Judge. So all 9 independent senators, they disagree with Martin Daly. Let's see if they disagree with a judge now. And the best bastion of independence, best example is the judiciary. Right? Most of it is beyond reproach. The least political interference occurs with the judiciary. Yes, they still have some, but it has been fighting and jealously guarding its independence as best as it can in a system that is delayed and late, and justice is very slow, but it comes, but it's slow. That is what PNM does do. They just lie on you, and then the judgment has come 5 years after election. High Court Judge Frank C. Prasad says, recent events relating to the appointment of a commissioner of police have raised in the minds of citizens a desire to ascertain the truth as to what transpired, but not in the minds of the 9 independent senators. So Justice Frank C. Prasad is wrong. He's unreasonable because he is stating that the minds of the people, the citizens, want the truth. They want debate. They want information. They want a tribunal to investigate and present all the information on the constitutional crisis that has occurred. But the 9 independent senators disagree with Justice Frank C. Prasad. So Justice Frank C. Prasad, according to the 9 independents, is an unreasonable human being. You see how ridiculous it gets? He said recent events relating to the appointment of a commissioner of police have raised in the minds of many citizens a desire to ascertain the truth as to what transpired, and many feel that the various public officials who may have been involved in the situation which ensued should elect to clarify the events which unfolded and exercise ownership over any inappropriate exercise of discretion or constitutional overreach which may have occurred. But the 9 independent senators, of their own volition, of their own thought, of their own process, individually came up to say that Justice Frank C. Prasad is wrong, irrational, and unreasonable. You see? You see how bad it is? They may think they're in some sort of ivory tower, but their stupidity is cracking the ivory all over. The tusks are shattering, because no reasonable person would say that Martin Daly and Frank C. Prasad are irrational. See? Well, let's continue. We are done there yet, you know. Sunshine, page 3, Friday, 5th November, Peter Green. Dear President Paula May Weeks, history will never be on your side, and your legacy in the judiciary will pale into significance if you fail to do the honorable thing and speak up that the nation can decide. None, Madam President, is as egregious. It went through to talk about some mistakes in the history of Trinidad and Tobago involving the presidency and so on. But Peter Green in the Sunshine says, Madam President, none, Madam President, is as egregious as your decision to remain silent on the issue of an alleged conversation which took place in your office that may have resulted in the collapse of the Police Service Commission. Your Excellency Paula May Weeks, you will recall that the nation stood by your side when very early after your appointment, questions were raised about, well, I don't even want to bring up that, right? Questions were raised. Most wondered what that had to do with. When you came into office, you had the applause of the entire nation that believed in you, that trusted you, and depended on you to do the right thing. And that included Kamla Prasad Bisesa and the United National Congress. Kamla Prasad Bisesa was proud and supported wholeheartedly Her Excellency's appointment. So don't come and play games now on a constitutional issue, a clear issue as stated by Martin Daly, as espoused by Justice Frank C. Prasad, that the country wants information. They want facts. The motion in the Electoral College was to be debated, and it was to vote to get a tribunal to ascertain facts. We have 9 independent senators who are against ascertaining facts, who are against an independent tribunal ascertaining facts. How is that possible? How is it possible for independent-minded individuals to vote against an independent tribunal to seek facts in a situation? Who is afraid of information? Who's afraid of the truth? You see how it's not reasonable? Peter Green continued, but this fracas has caused the Police Service Commission to collapse. This fracas that created so much bacchanal in our parliament, this fracas that has sullied your image in the eyes of our youth who are looking for role models and exemplars in our society, seems to be pointing its fingers towards you. We ain't done there yet. Kublal Singh threatens to take action on Police Service Commission issue. Daily Express, Tuesday, 2nd November. And I'm no fan of Kublal Singh. In fact, I think they need to investigate him as an alien, because when he was protesting against the People Partnership government, he said he didn't eat for 278 days. How he's still alive, me I know. So therefore, I'm not only reading people who I agree with. In fact, I'm reading from a cross-section of society to show. Because the independent senators represent the cross-section of the society. They represent PNM, UNC, and douglAR. They represent 1.39 million people, 13,389 Venezuelan with registration card. That's who them does represent. So I'm reading from all kind of people to show you. But wait, is this reasonable? Is it rational? Is it possible? Is it probable that 100% of independent people could vote against reasonableness? Against fact-finding? Against information? Against truth? Activist Dr. Wayne Kublal Singh has written to President Paula May Weeks asking for clarification for the abrogation of the selection process for the Commissioner of Police. Speaking with the media, Kublal Singh explained that he thought the issue was one of national prominence, as it had the potential to set dangerous precedents which would be utilized by other persons. Sounds similar to what Martin Daly was saying. The Constitution has been designed to debar political officers from exercising undue influence in the preliminary stages of the selection process for the Commissioner of Police. Neither the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, the Police Service Commission, nor the President herself has given a satisfactory answer as to what actually took place. What was the Commissioner of Police process abrogated? Why was it abrogated? Kublal Singh asked. But none of the 9 independent senators want to know. They don't want to know, or they can't read Section 123(4) of the Constitution. Section 123(4) of the Constitution states that on receipt of the merit list, the President shall proceed to notify Parliament. The whole world, all the courts, Commonwealth, Westminster, all the convention, all the law says that shall means duty bound. Shall means must. Shall means no discretion. So the whole world knows that what shall means, but the 9 independent senators disagree with the whole world. Serious thing, ain't?
Yeah.
And then you can't ask if this irrational behavior could be as a result of conflict of interest. Because the very president that we're speaking of is the one who appointed all 9. And all 9 receive big salary, big perks, and bigness to back up the UNC. Isn't that a fair question? Because can we agree it's irrational that 9 independent human beings will read a simple paragraph, Section 123(4), see the word shall twice, read that their president, the president who appointed them, said the merit list was delivered on August 11th and withdrawn immediately later that day. So it was delivered, therefore could not be withdrawn. Not 3 out 6, you know. Not 4 and 5. All 9 disagree with all the judges, Privy Council, Law, High Court, Court of Appeal, all the lawyers, all the legal drafters about the word shall. They disagree with Martin Daly, they disagree with Israel Khan, they disagree with Kublai Singh, they disagree with Peter Green, they disagree with Sunshine, they disagree with Larry Lala, they disagree with Emil Krong, they disagree with Om Lala, they disagree with everybody. How is that? Is that reasonable? Is that rational? And is that independent? You see, Master, I'm waiting for your motion. Bring your motion. You go have motion in the ocean, boy. We're taking a short break. We're coming back with your calls. Share the number, share the live. 218-7762. Run it, cocky.
Diwali is in the air, and with it comes festivities and fasting. Luckily, my family and I can enjoy a nice, tasty veggie burger thanks to Royal Castle. Whether it's lunch or dinner, the Royal Castle veggie burger is great on its own or in a combo with a side and a 16-ounce drink. And it's healthy too. A nutritious patty made with oats, lentils, chana, potatoes and carrots. Inside, a soft bun with tomatoes and lettuce. So for this season of lights, try the tasty and healthy veggie burger. Shubh Diwali from Royal Castle.
U975 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio and Multicultural Television MCTV, bringing you back where you belong. Part of the Rhythms Communications Network. To advertise with us, call 218-7820.
And welcome back. So we're not finished there. We see Israel Khan. Israel Khan, who has an affinity and a love and a respect for Her Excellency the President. In fact, when he's asked his questions, he's asking so soft and sweet and nice. Poor fella. But at least he's still, no matter his love and respect for Her Excellency, over decades of interaction probably in the judicial system, he still asked the question. Because in a letter via email, Israel B. Raja Khan, Senior Counsel, printed in the Newsday on, let me see, Section A, page 14, Tuesday, November 2nd, Israel Khan says, having said the above, I wish to go on record that I too am of the view that the President has displayed and continues to display a certain amount of arrogance and aloofness in not answering certain pertinent questions surrounding the collapse of the former PSC. And this is bringing the office of the President into disrepute and thus destroying its independence. Israel Khan, who is a fan of Paula May Weeks, but yet all 9 independent senators disagree with Israel Khan. They don't believe that the President has displayed any arrogance and aloofness in not answering certain pertinent questions. All 9 independent senators believe that Her Excellency is correct to not answer. They don't need information. They don't want an independent tribunal to find out the truth. They are happy with whatever secrecy is there. They are all 9 of them satisfied. But Israel Khan, who's a fan of Her Excellency, is not satisfied. He said, I hope in the fullness of time, the President will clear up the machinations on all issues involving the office of the President, which led to the collapse of the former PSC. That's Israel Khan. And he said it so soft and diplomatically and nice, because he praised her first for nominating five new members. I'll leave him with that. All right, my brother. It's a mere fighting you. But you see the variety of people from disparate areas, disparate beliefs, different education levels, different life experience, all going towards the side of reasonableness, of truth, of debate, of fact-finding, of information, of democracy. Yet independent senators attacking UNC senators in the media as if we are some lamb to the slaughter of these elites. I say, Paul Richards, you are not no elite. So cool yourself, slow your roll, and do your job. Leave us, the UNC, to do our job. We are doing our job. We are fighting for democracy. We're fighting and representing our 309,000 people. How about you and Massa? Represent your 1.39 million. How about that? Isn't that a good suggestion? Yeah, man. And now, let me finish off. The UNC says to the president, to the prime minister, to Bliss C. Prasad, give us the truth. What took place? Information, facts. Point-a-Pair MP David Lee is telling President Paula May Weeks to heed the advice she gave to the public officials on her New Year's message, to stop being so secretive, paranoid, and dismissive of the anxieties of our citizens. That's what the president said on New Year's Eve, you know. David Lee research brought out a speech and telling her, in her own words, stop the secretiveness. But the 9 independent senators on their own, sitting down home by themselves, came up to their own decision that guidelines to thwart debate, vote and go, no discussion, no fact-finding, no independent tribunal, no need for information, just move on. They find that's an independent, reasonable position. And the rest of we should hush him out. Because them up there and we's plebs. Well, Massa, they done, boy, Vera, boy. Somebody didn't tell you. But tell them Anil say, Massa, they done. David Lee continued. He said the president has a responsibility to investigate why the commission collapsed so rapidly and whether government breached the separation of powers and tried to influence an independent body, reminding her of her words that public officials make decisions and take action under our authority and on our behalf. We are therefore entitled to be kept in the loop about relevant developments. Lee said, just as she called for accountability, she is now being called on to account. So hold on now. I'm going to take all your calls after this. I take my time and I break it down for all you. So my final position is that the 9 independent senators, the president herself, Prime Minister Keith Rowley, and Bliss C. Prasad are disagreeing with the president's New Year's Eve message. The president herself said, stop the secrecy. The people want facts. The people want information. The people want truth. And now she tell all you, fireball, let me tell no nothing. And the 9 independent senators agree with her, against her, 10 months ago, 11 months ago. So the independent senators agreeing with the president's New Year's message for 2021. 218-7762. Good evening.
Good evening, Anil Roberts. This is Sada Roti and Tomato.
Oh, you're good.
Anil, let me ask you a question. If we don't do the corrective action, how can we implement preventive action? If you have the same people doing the same thing, and we will have a police service commission likely to collapse again? Because we don't know what was the cause. No, I read a message, a Diwali message from the president, right? It was nice words. But I wanted to know what was in her mind. The fact that Diwali, the philosophy is light over darkness, good over evil. And she and her office has been dark, opaque, with respect to what happened in that press house. Now, I want to ask a question. Is she living in the press house or she likes the perks of a rental? I mean to say that tells me something. Is she vying or she throwing in a hat for another term? No, man, we have to be serious as a nation. We have to fix problems, else we will not go anywhere. The other issue I want to touch on, I like the topic. I want to talk on the amount of deaths, Anil.
All right, we will talk about that tomorrow. 57 or 58 in 5 days.
You know that is equivalent to an electoral district in Tobago for election?
Oh, Lord. We go talk that tomorrow. I know. It is horrendous. But we will deal, that's a whole, I will deal with that Monday. Because that's a whole, I don't want to disrespect that with a short talk. Okay, my brother. God bless. And a good question here from Vishnu Gopal Maharaj. Not a question, a statement. I say it again. The independent senators caucus to drive a dagger into the heart of democracy, says Vishnu Gopal Maharaj. Zanifa Ali says, so if the president don't clear what happened on August 11th and 12th, what will happen? Good evening.
Good evening, Anil, and good evening to everybody out there.
Good evening.
Anil, first things first. Your caller who asked why you're bringing in the man race, isn't it? Did he adopt that same position when Rowley take 2 bananas and make it a racist issue? You see situational ethics, Anil?
Well, yes, of course, but I know why I brought in the race because
I
read every word, and the elitist position that he has taken clearly, it shows that his upbringing, his socialization has not brought him to the point where he believes all are equal, because he's talking down to us who are there to represent 309,000 people. He was selected by one president who has caused a constitutional crisis, so he could catch himself. And you go ahead, yes?
Yeah, Anil, and next thing, you remembered when they were doing the procurement bill, all the 9 senators and them, they come and they talk and they talk right was good and this, that and the other. And yet still, they all abstain and only one agree with that procurement bill.
Wait. No. I think 8 of them said no. And one who did not contribute went and say yes.
Anil, I think, how do I stand corrected? I think that they abstain.
Double check for me. But either way, you see, either way, they always seem to be, it's just a coincidence, eh?
Yes.
They always seem to be one who goes against the grain. It's just, it happens so, I ain't saying nothing, it just happens so.
Yes.
You understand? It does just be so by mistake, that the government need one, and somehow, no matter how ridiculous, somehow one does squeeze out. Like you're in a plane and you eat some shatine and it's an 8-hour flight and you don't want to poops, but boy, one does squeeze out.
But Anil, they did not agree with it in their debate, but yet still they didn't vote for against it.
But the one who voted for it did not debate.
Yes. And Anil, they sell it to the president. She knew the bill was not a good bill. They butchered the procurement bill, and yet still she signed off on it. But let me tell you something, Anil, the president dragged the flag. Nobody has confidence or even want to hear about her again. That Diwali message, she should start practicing what she preached. You understand? Don't preach to anybody. And Anil, what is distasteful? You as a judge sat down there, make people swear on the Bible to tell the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. But yet still, you couldn't tell us the truth, what it is went on with that meritless and who visited you, right? I'm ashamed of her, and she has brought the presidency into disrepute. And I think she should go and take her 9 senators with her. Thanks a lot, Anil, and have a
good evening. And I'm just reading because the people, the independent senators, they represent the people. Vidya Singh says, current independent senators are just window dressing. Sharon Bernard, good evening. They say they're cutting the live. Is the president going to correct these senators? She hired them. I'm just giving them some of what the people are saying. Somebody say good night, Corky and Anil, Zanifa Ali.
Yes.
Good evening.
Hello.
Yes.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, right. I remember in them DLP days, you know, PNM had a curse when they go in excursion and beat them DLP people because they want to vote for PNM. I don't know if you can remember that.
Yes, man. Thank you. Blessings. 218-7762. Good evening.
She hired them. I'm just giving them some.
Hello. Turn down the radio, turn down the radio, turn down the radio, turn down the radio and listen to the phone. Good evening, good evening.
Hello?
Yes, good evening. Turn down your radio, turn down your radio. That's a delay. You had to listen to me live. How you going? Listen to me through the phone. Turn down that radio.
Yeah?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I'm sorry about your radio volume. I did that.
No problem. Go ahead.
All right.
Yeah.
So, I'm wondering, these bar owners who seem to be acting like the independent senators you're talking about, and these safe zone owners who coming out on the TV and they don't have anybody and they don't have any people and they don't have any customers, is that an opportunity for them to bank money that needed to be banked, to pretend that we open and we're doing good business and we go into the bank with monies that we really cannot account for? I don't know.
Well, you asking me some hard questions. All right, my brother. God bless. Andy Rodriguez says, I wonder how many citizens have respect for the independent senators. I certainly do not. A bunch of misfits who represent themselves rather than all citizens. Independent senators, only listen to the people, you know. Not Anil, you know. Anil go tell all you what I think. When Vera motion come up on UNC senators, I waiting. I begging Wade Mark to let me go first. Right? Alex Stout says they should get rid of all independent senators because they are a waste of taxpayers' time and money. Y'all go ahead, independent senators. This is your people. You supposed to represent all the people. The UNC, I represent 309,000. The PNM represent their 322. You represent all. And what I am reading here is from the people you represent. Indra Papasil, they should be fired. June Mohammed, they afraid. Therese Fort de Souza. That, why am I going off? What are you doing there, Cocky? Don't touch nothing, boy. Teresa Fort de Souza. That was certainly a conflict of interest. Tony Bitang, you all need some constitutional lawyers to throw PNM in the latrine. I'm just going up. Hold on. I'm letting them hear what the people are saying. Hudai Aya, democracy is a farce. Kamodi Reynolds, Anil, even if the 9 independent senators voted with the opposition, the PNM would have won. Yes, that's all right. That's okay. That's the system we have. That's the rule. But we're not even interested in who vote where. The idea is, what did they vote on? They voted to not talk. They voted to not debate. They voted for no facts. They voted for no tribunal. They voted for no information. They voted without discussion. They voted for illegal rules. They voted against the Constitution. They voted against the standing orders. The standing orders say motions are to be debated. They voted for illegal guidelines. That's the point. So win, lose, or draw, and in mathematics, if the maths in, that's not the point. The point is debate. If they debate, we debate, and all 9 vote with the government, well, we can't say nothing. We lost the debate. You understand? But now that they have been unmasked, and as today I have shown that they are going against reasonable independent people. Martin Daly, Israel Khan, Justice Frank Sipasad, Peter Green, the people in the Sunshine, the editorials of the Express 3 editorials, Guardian 2 editorials. They're going against that. They're going against Wayne Kublal Singh. How all 9 going against all those people? They represent all those people. So it should I end up 3, 6, 4, 5, 5, 4, some kind of thing? 9-0? Brilliant. 218-7762. Good evening. Good evening. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Good night.
Good night.
Mr. Robert.
Yeah.
You can let Cocky play a song for me when you're done. My brother resistant. Ring the bell. When you ring some of them bell and play, you ring some bell and
All right. Cocky here in here, you go find that. Thank you. 218-7762. I taking your calls. I talk plenty this evening. I talk plenty. And all you don't forget. Let me tell you. Wow, I typed the wrong thing there. 218-7762. 218-7762. Good evening.
Hi, good evening, Mr. Anil and Koki B.
How are you?
Hi. This is Sandra Mangal of Kelly Village County.
How is
I'm glad
Kelly
you talk plenty. I like to hear when you talk plenty.
You too
I'm
sweet.
telling the people the truth.
Yeah,
And
thank
some
you.
of the people don't like to hear the truth.
That is all right. Yes, don't worry about that.
So I just like to thank you very much for talking to us plenty.
Thank you, my dear. Did you enjoy your Diwali?
Okay, bye-bye, and
All
take
right.
care and
See
be
you
safe
then,
and
okay.
try to talk to be too.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling.
218-7762. Good evening.
A very good evening to you, Anil.
Good evening.
The man who surprised me the most, believe it or not, is Paul Richards. All of a sudden, Paul Richards is this big constitutional expert. All the best. Have a good evening.
And remember, check out Fresh Street Market, TT. Your neighborhood supermarket. Join in for the many seasonal and ongoing in-store specials. Number 3, Andrew Lane. Drive up the road on the highway just when you pass Price Smart by Mousika Day. On the left, you go see a Royal Castle. One of them truck where you can get a Royal Castle, them mobile truck. Right behind the Fresh Street Market, TT. Check them out. Opening hours 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Monday to Saturday. Tomorrow morning, go down early and get in there for the best prices. And Fresh Street, they mean fresh, eh? Every morning they get from the market 5 a.m. fresh vegetables and things coming up in Fresh Street Market. Check them out. 218-7762. Good evening. 218-7762. Call in. I have given you all a whole analysis on the independent senators. That is, they're supposed to be independent-minded, on thinking on their own and coming to their own conclusions. But yet, I'll put some questions. How could they come unanimously against all these other citizens who want information, want facts, and want truth? Good evening.
Good evening. One of the things that is really disturbing me, and no one has spoken about it in a long, long time, is that when our Prime Minister, between 2010 and 2015, was accused by the opposition leader at the time, Keith Rowley, of kill a reporter, I recall where the police came and seized her documents, her phone, her computer, and everything, which was the most disgusting thing out. And yet I have never heard anybody bring it up, talk about it, or anything at all. But yet this other person now in the chair could lead the president and and say things against. And he said it both ways. I wrote the police commission and I told them I don't want this man and everything else. And it is so, when Trinidadians, could see these things and hear these things and still doubt that we have a man as our Prime Minister, it hurts my heart to see what they did to my Prime Minister. And I guess That's all I can see right now. Thank you
Well
very
said,
much.
and that's a point. Where were they? And if you weren't around Paul Richards and you were on radio, maybe with Nicky Crosby, I ask you now, Paul Richards, what's your take on Emailgate? On a leader of the opposition coming into the parliament and lying for an hour and 15 minutes, accusing a sitting prime minister of conspiring to murder journalists. What's your opinion? Paul Richards, any? How are you, my brother?
Mr. Anil.
Good evening.
Without 10 people catch themselves in a rat trap and give away the dignity for a little bit of money and suffering 1.5 million people. You see, this is dishonesty. When you don't have money, cannot buy honesty, you know, and principle. And this is why we, the citizens, have to understand. You know why they're coming up with all of these things? November the 30th, they don't want that pushback. The people mustn't come together and unite.
You don't worry. The people coming together. Thank you, my brother. Juliet Pierre Trotman says, good evening. Locked on. Stand your ground and push back 30th November, 10 a.m. Nicholas Rickshaw, good evening. Garth Mills, good evening. Rashid Ishmael is listening from Florida. Good evening. 218-7762. Gobin Lakshmi Dial, good evening. Anil and your crew, they're listening. Corky from Ontario. Yes. Patrick Billy, Anil Roberts, pleasant good night. Good show. When them senators don't go and turn it back, their appointments show their true color. You see? Ken Downing. That's why we pushing back 30th November 2021, Queen's Park, Savannah North, opposite Napa, 10 a.m. Ganesh Ramaya, Geeta Schultz, good night. Anil Lockton, keep up the good work. Kevin Lochan, the president have to stay quiet because she afraid she lost Shewok and also the PNM MPs. Ved Maraj says shut down the country, we pushing back. Madelas Thompson Vasquez, shut down the country. You see, independent senators, who you all represented? I saw when you go Balize House, I see Philip Alexander drop some candle for Rhoda Barrett today. When all you go with Rhoda to pick up them candle by Balize House, all you might get some support. You see, because we have a cross section of listeners, viewers, everybody, and all want truth, all want information, all want to know what happened August 11th, 12th, August 26th, 27th, and 30th. But the independent senators don't want to know. Hello, good evening.
Good afternoon. 30th of November, we're pushing back.
Right. All right, my brother. And some of y'all tomorrow also, I think the scrap iron dealers, 1 o'clock by Taruba Stadium, the MSJ, Roger, OWTU. Some of y'all could go down and support. The entire country must unite. Don't care about who like who say Anil ugly, Anil mouth big, that's alright. Leave Anil with the ugly big mouth. The country is burning, the constitution is being trampled upon. They are dragging the flag. All must unite to save the flag. Good evening. 218-7762. Sorry, we lost that one. 218. Good evening. Susan Bootham says, good evening, Anil. And Corky. Susan Bootham from USA. Hello, good evening.
Good evening to you.
Hello.
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 Good night.
Good night.
I would like to make a contribution on our program, please.
You are live on the air. Everyone is listening to you.
Okay. I'd like to say good night for a very good show. And I would like to find out about the SOE. It's supposed to have ended on the 1st.
No, not the 1st. The 29th.
On the 29th?
Yes.
Okay then. Thanks so much.
God bless.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, Anil. Good evening, Kokidi. And the
of course, you hang up on yourself. Oh, Lord. Call back. That was not us. But call back. We right there. Good evening. I tired talk. All your talk. 218-7762. Good evening.
Good afternoon, Senator Roberts.
Good evening.
Rather than Roger and Abdullah representing the scrap iron people, maybe the scrap iron people would have been better off if they had hired the mannequin to represent them. Them two losers and jokers who sell out this country on numerous occasions, sell out their unions, sell out their workers, sell out Petrotrin, sell out everything that didn't boil down. Come, that is like putting cat to watch butter, or that is like putting Dracula to be in charge of the blood bank.
All right, hold on. While I agree with all that you have said, I am saying now that you and I together must put aside the facts that we know, the pain that we felt, the confusion that we felt from their decisions that we could not fathom. We cannot understand why they did it. But I am asking you, just as I agree with you, we put that aside for red, white, and black, and we get together with whoever, all of us, to whoever want to save Trinidad and Tobago from this evil that is Keith Rowley. So I am not disagreeing with you.
Senator Roberts.
Join me, my brother. Forgive them.
Ask me to do anything else but that.
All right.
Ask me to do anything else but that.
But all right, I will go and I will buy the bullet for we, right? For
the Lord forgives. I don't.
Oh God. All right. I try my best. I didn't say I disagree with you. No. Hello. Good evening.
And Cookie, dear listeners,
Yes.
take this into consideration. A successful man is a man that can take the bricks and stones that thrown against him and build a solid foundation to stand on. That's all for tonight. Good night.
Thank you, my brother. All right. You're making me think. Again, we headache in the evening.
Yes.
Good evening.
Hi, good night, Anil and your host.
Good night.
Yeah, I know you're inviting people for the motorcade tomorrow, but that did not get approval.
Yeah, but let me ask you this. Is there a commissioner of police to approve anything? Number one. Number two, we are protesting the political interference in the TTPS at the highest order. So with all due respect, I and all go. Let the police lock me up. Then what I do? I drive in my car. What are they going to lock me up for? I drive in my car on the road and I going below the speed limit.
I didn't hear what they postponed it.
Oh, so they set it off.
Yeah, no, but they postponed it because they did not get approval.
Them kind of soft. So I go still drive by myself in protest.
Yeah.
Because what's the point? You are letting people who are politically influenced. The constitutional crisis has made us into a police state. And then you're putting off a protest because the police tell you ain't get no permission. That ain't making sense.
Well, that's the whole point.
I go drive by myself. It's all right. I go take a drive from Taruba down to Tong and back down the road. Okay, my brother. Blessings. But thanks to the information, I don't know, man. There's cancel thing just so. There is no police commissioner. What we protesting is that Rowley controls the police. You go in and protest against that. And then because Rowley police tell you no, you cancel. I don't know about that. Anyway, November 30th. Good evening.
Good afternoon, Senator. I have to call back.
Yes.
Let me tell you, when them fellas and them sell out the scrap iron dealers, all who was present, like your good self, go get blame, they go say, but Anil Roberts, Senator, he was there, and this other one was there, and the next one was there, but they're going to sell them out. Let me tell you something. And leopard can't change his spot. A thief is a thief is a thief is a thief.
Oh, God. All right. But you're right. You're not. Oh, Lord. You get me frightened. They go say Anil sell them out. Yes, you're right. You're a lie. But boy, let me tell you, in the constitution that we have to unite. The only time PNM does lost is when the opposition is united. Anytime it has division, PNM does win by default. Good evening.
Mr. Anil, I could ask you a question, sir?
Yes.
When you're talking about PNS, I mean 1 and 2 die PNS?
No. If 1 and 2, 1 plus 1 equal 2, he gone? I understand what you said. Good evening. Hello. Turn on the radio, listen on the phone. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes. Don't listen to the radio. Listen, talk live. You're live.
Yeah. What I want to say, I'm calling from Canada.
Yes.
And permission or no permission, people over here, when they want to march and protest, they're by the thousands on the street. How are they going to lock up? So,
correct.
And here when they're protesting all the COVID they have, they're protesting by the thousands on the street.
Correct. In England, all over the world.
You know?
But you see...
Nobody locking up anybody. You know? They just want to get people scared.
Exactly.
You know?
Because it's a police state. You're correct.
You don't have a police commissioner in Trinidad. You don't have an assistant police commissioner. Eh? You know what I have to say is that we had this instance here where the Governor General, because we don't have president here, we have Governor General, and she was out of line with some issues. And the Prime Minister tell her, get the hell out. And within 7 days, she had to vacate the Governor General's office. So why the same thing they can't do with the President?
No, well, our constitution is a little bit different. The Prime Minister over there would have had power to appoint the Governor General. Here, the opposition does not have the power to appoint anybody. All right, my brother. Thank you.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
yes.
thanks very much.
Thank you.
Very much for the answer.
Yes. Thank you. As we say, Chitra Shabo, these police need a good shake-up, so. Fareed Hassan Ali, watching from Central Florida. Independence, according to President Weeks, inconsistent policy. And we say to the Ved Maharaj says, let the Scrap Island dealers, the MSJ, and everybody come out on the 30th of November to the Queen's Park, Savannah, North Side by Napa, 10 a.m. So Scrap Island dealers, Ansel Roger, MSJ, y'all are all invited down November 30th, Queen's Park, Savannah, 218-7762. If all you call right now, we're taking a call. Other than that, we have some money to make, some ads to run, and then we will be back. I hope the independent senators are listening to their people. The calls, the voice of the people. Don't study Anil. Anil waiting for all your motion. I'm going to show you the motion. Tra la 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 la, show me the motion. Tra la 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 la. Hello, good evening.
Anil.
Yes, ¿qué pasa?
Entonces, amigo.
Ah, todo está bien. Esta noche hablando con la gente.
¿A dónde su man of man?
Oh Lord, the minister man, he not giving no water to nobody.
Sí. Yeah. In Majuba Crossroad.
No water.
Water.
No agua. No agua.
Now, water coming down the road. And no repair. No repair.
Because the minister man only looking for man in van. He no look for water.
You welcome to swim. You can come and swim.
Majuba Crossroad.
You come at Juba Crossroad by Darren and
yes.
you straight down to Wang.
Well, the minister man listening now.
I want you to come and swim.
Yes, I'll bring George Bovell. I'll bring George Bovell.
Thousands of gallons.
Boy, and people in Dago can't get water.
Ridiculous.
I don't know what
your minister, man. Call him.
Minister.
Okay, brother.
All right, my brother. The minister man look busy looking in van for man. Hello. Hello, good evening. Turn down the volume, good evening.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
The Minister of Man says going to have a turnaround in Wassa.
Yes.
But he asking all the man and them to turn around.
Yeah, Guti look back. He asked all the man. He said he's going to have a turnaround in Wassa. Oh God, Bacchanal on a Friday. Hey, you find the ring the bell, boy?
Right here, man.
Hey, we go in and play at 2 ads. And then we go into our brother Resistance, the great late brother Resistance. Ring the bell. I don't think that will have any copyright. Hey, Vishnu, Archie, all you watch for copyright. I don't want no shutdown with this copyright, with this music. Oh Lord, on the Facebook. Run some ads, then we go by Royal Castle for a veggie burger now, boy. And then we listening to some sweet soca music.
Diwali is in the air, and with it comes festivities and fasting. Luckily, my family and I can enjoy a nice, tasty veggie burger thanks to Royal Castle. Whether it's lunch or dinner, the Royal Castle veggie burger is great on its own or in a combo with a side and a 16-ounce drink. And it's healthy too. A nutritious patty made with oats, lentils, chana, potatoes and carrots. Inside a soft bun with tomatoes and lettuce. So for this season of lights, try the tasty and healthy veggie burger. Shubh Diwali from Royal Castle.
Rook the Rhine Home Center, Carney Savannah Road, Chabonas. Manufacturers of indoor and outdoor furnishing, patio set, kitchen cupboard, bathroom and house doors in any color and design in mahogany, teak, cedar and pine. You order, we deliver. Rook the Rhine Home Center, Carney Savannah Road, Chabonas. Satisfying every customer. Call Rook the Rhine Home Center, 665-7667.
And if you're in Tobago, remember Waves Restaurant and Bar. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful view and full meals for lunch and dinner. Waves Restaurant and Bar. It's best to book a table, as you can go hashtag at Waves Tobago, Facebook and Instagram. Email seaside@wavestobago.com. Old Grafton Road, Old Grafton Beach Road, Seaside, Black Rock, Tobago. You're going to Tobago, you must check out Waves. And if you have a little lovely lady, you're trying to be chivalrous, and like Corky D, he's only make daughters. So if you want to make some more daughters, go to Waves Restaurant in Tobago, where we could ring the bell for the food.
Sure! No, this is Brother Resistance, and I come with the power of the word in the rhythm of the word. Riding the millennium with them all rap for children. Gather round. Hey! Ring the bell, the bell, the bell, the bell, the bell. Hey! Is what, sir? Brother Resistance and King Fred. When the millennium ready. Hey! Ring the bell, ring the bell. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell, ring the bell. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell, ring the bell. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell for the rhapsody drum. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell for the power of the word. Ring the bell down there. Ring it all over. Ring it all over. You put on your dancing shoes. Gone down to the disco. Down to the disco. You put on your dancing shoes. Gone down to the disco. Gone down to the disco. Come on, brother leader. It's night time. We summon up the power. But this time, I was sitting in the air bell. Well, look, I have a story to tell. Hey, it's a long time now. I should be fighting for freedom. Victory bound to come. Assemble the people, let me sight up the rhythm. Rock the rap so rhythm. Hey, hey, hey.
Yes, and we're back inside 218-7762. And Miss Santa Cruz, you were right. Anil was wrong. Anil was wrong. Anil was wrong. Miss Santa Cruz was correct. 8 of the independents abstained on the procurement legislation and 1 voted yes. We thank Alan Karim for that. I just checked the information. Information coming in hot, fast and furious. So, Anil was wrong. Miss Santa Cruz, you were right. Well done. Thank you very much. It was 8 abstention and 1 yes to legalize thieving. Now think about that. A government brings a bill to weaken and gut a bill that is there to put eyes on your money, checks and balances, to try to make your money a bit safer. Not perfection, because there's no such thing, but to keep the security tight on your money. A government come to say that security too tight, loosen the security. And an independent senator vote yes, loosen the security, legalize thieving. And what all the women say, but are waiting for the motion in the ocean, boy. Oh Lord, Massa, Senator Massa, they done. And he'll come in, boy. Hey, wait, Mark, I want to go first, wait, Mark. You is the boss, wait, Mark. I beg you. Let me go first. I go get an extra 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I don't have enough time to wet him. Yes, Senator Massa, boy. Oh, you want me to say to you, Massa? You want me bring coffee for you? Massa, could I clean your shoes? Your shoes look dirty, Massa. You want the douglAR to clean it for you, Massa? Can I dust your and take the lint off your suit, Massa? By fire burn you, boy, Massa, boy. Massa, they done, boy. And you know, my boy Archie say, oh, Lord. My boy Archie hey, Archie. Oh, God, Archie, you're too bad. I tell you, we drop, we lay down the gauntlet, we done with that, you know. He say, actually, Roger and Abdullah is the correct person to represent the scrap iron dealers. They turn Petrotrain to scrap iron. Olia, stop it! I say we done. I say I forgive. I say the country is too important. Even if I could go and walk and say, Roger, forget all of that shopping. They say, do. Let we go because Rowley is just so evil, so wicked to everybody. We really had to remove him. Oh, Lord, if Anil willing to say that. Oh, Archie, Olia, easy, boy. Good evening. Oh, man, just call and laughing. Hello. Oh, Lord. Hello, good evening. You going with that?
Good evening, Anil. Evening.
How are you going?
Not good.
What happened now?
It hurt to pass down the Eastern Main Road, and all you're smelling is, oh, gosh.
Oh,
the minister,
Lord.
man, can't tell me when he go fix that big toilet leak on the Beaton, boy.
They say December 2nd. So you have another month of that for the people in the Beaton. That's what the PNM does. They love the people in the Beaton because they vote PNM no matter what. So that them could smell that for next month. Imagine that. So long if that was Westmoreland, that fix in 6 hours by where Rowley House is. If that was Goodwood Park, that fix in 8 hours, Junior Sammy and they would have been given a contract, zip, and they would have fixed that. But Beaton, it's already 7 weeks, and them say today that they will go fix the sewer by December 2nd. I stop in the gas station and the Beaton they coming down before I come here, Cocky. Yes. And that sewer smell over the diesel. Oh, you understand what I tell you?
Yes.
And breeze blowing, eh? So you would think the breeze will blow away the stench. That stench so thick, that breeze can't even blow it. And the PNM say that the people in the Beaton have to live with that till December 2nd because they love the people in the Beaton. That's what PNM does. Good evening.
Good afternoon, Anil.
Good evening.
Will the people learn that order signals love making for the minister, man?
Oh,
that is, love is in the air.
Oh, God. Oh, let's stop. Stop it. Stop it. Oh, so that's why you leave it there because it's so... I can't take it. All you stop. Somebody 218-7762. Oh, Lord. We are 22 minutes. All you call. I'm tired talk. I need water. Woo! 218-7762. Oh, Lord. I'm back on probation. Yes. 218-7762. Let me go back and let me read some more messages. What? Senator Lida say he ready. He want to go in first in the Lida, you wait your turn, boy. I want to go first. I done put in my request. Senator Vera, bring your motion, boy. We had Dramamine for that motion. Hello, good evening.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
I understand that a reporter interviewing the Prime Minister asked why is it that he have such a poor audience. He said blame camera.
Oh, Lord. Hey, as I always say that, let me read another ridiculous thing. I want to know, this person is kind of promoting the same opinions of independent Senator Massa. Senator Massa, well, in the news today, Friday, November 5th, page 2, page 21. And look where they hide this, Johnson Levant. Police HR Director, defense process used in contract dismissals. Remember, Corky, it was right here on U97.5 douglAR radio that we bust. That when they fired the 19 people, they did not fire DCP Jacob's daughter and the lady Ramgalam, she daughter too. Right? And it was really, well, we got further information that is DCP Jacobs had two daughters working there. And he said he's a patriot. Right? So he's a patriot, so he fire everybody else's children, but not he own. And Miss Ramgalam now, well, they confirmed the Newsday now, about 3 weeks after we bust the story. The Newsday asked her, Police HR Director, defense process used in contract dismissals. The mother of an attorney hired by the police under former Police Commissioner Gary Griffith, remember we said that, that Gary Griffith hired her. So how the 19 that Gary Griffith hired were fired, and this one was not, when her mama was the one doing the firing with DCP Jacob, right? So they confirmed the mother of an attorney hired by the police under former Police Commissioner Gary Griffith, but who was not fired during the cost-cutting exercise, says there is no nepotism involved. Well, I wanted, okay. Well, all right, I want to read this one because 19 that get contract under Gary get bus throat. You is the one busing throat. Is your daughter and your daughter throat whole. You share get no bus throat. And you say that's not nepotism. So I want to read more, right? Because I want to see this must be a fantasy story, right? No nepotism.
Right.
I fire everybody else, but I did not fire my daughter. So let's see now. Speaking with Newsday earlier this week, Angela Ramlagan, the Police Services Human Resource Director, said her daughter Marissa was hired in a process that was above board. So were the other 19 hired in a process that was below board? Is that what you're saying? I have not heard you say that before. Are you concocting something? Are you saying that the 19 people hired by Gary Griffith that you fired or did not renew their contracts, that they were hired by a process which was below board? Oh, but your daughter was hired by the same process, by the same commissioner, but your daughter was above board. She had on helium balloon, but the others and them had on rock boots, right? Them was below the board. Okay, she continued. On Sunday, Newsday was told the younger Ramlagan was hired earlier this year, right, and is assigned to the legal unit.
Yes.
She added, this Mama Ramlagan said, just to clarify, my daughter is not that I am protecting her or anything like that. She was interviewed and everything. She went through the process and I was not in the panel. Ma'am, we're not talking about the hiring lady, like you not too bright. We talking about the firing girl. The firing, you was in the firing panel. You fire 19. How come your daughter didn't make it 20? You tell me about how she was higher. We didn't ask you how she was higher. We not asking you that. We asking you why she wasn't fire. You don't understand? She continued. But hear this piece now. All you hold on if you're driving, don't crash, eh? Ramlagan, Mrs. Ramlagan, said the decision to dismiss the contract workers came after a review of employment, and those dismissed earned above a certain amount. Do you remember the story? What am I going to say here now? They fired the groundsman.
Oh, yes,
the groundsman was only making $5,000 a month.
Yes.
Ramlagan daughter making approximately 15,000. How Ramlagan 15 now? How 5 is more than 15 Ramlagan? You see what the lawyer is saying, Miss Ramlagan? You come here and you say, she said the decision to dismiss the contract workers came after a review of employment, and those dismissed earned above a certain amount. But Miss Ramlagan, the groundsman you fire was making less than your daughter. So please, the maths not mathsing, according to Kamala Prasad Bisesa and Anita Haynes. Miss Ramlagan, please explain to the douglAR how 5,000 a month is more than 15,000 a month. Are waiting. Are waiting. And I'm certain, I'm now asking the 9 independent senators, Paul Richards, sir, how are you? Senator Massa, do you all agree with this? Do you all see anything wrong? Do you see any conflict of interest? Do you see any nepotism? Do you see any breach of constitution? Do you see any unequal justice that 19 people were fired, but the people who were firing, 2 out of the 3 people kept their 3 children employed? Y'all have any problem with that? 9 independent senators. Do you have any problem with that? Or is that is just par for the course? That is just acceptable? That the committee of 3 included a daddy and a mommy, and the 19 people who were fired did not include daddy, 2 daughters, and mama and baby. Huh? I'm over to you, Paul Richards and Senator Massa. What you all say? That's great. That's great. It's the PNM. That's fantastic. There's no conflict of interest. No need for any more information here. That's all right. That those citizens who were fired, that's good. No need to investigate. No more questions asked. That people just lost their jobs, lost their food off the table. 19 of them. But the ones who hold their work, who were renewed and hired by the same Gary Griffith,
yes,
them keep the work. And Miss Ramlagan lie. Miss Ramlagan, you hear what Anil say? It's a very strong word. But Miss Ramlagan, you lie. Because the groundsman, one of the 19 people, was the groundsman to take care of the football field that looking good and playing good. When I sweat, the eye does look like Ice David Naked because the ball rolling so sweet. The groundsman was keeping that grounds nice. He was there to wet down the AstroTurf that Gary Griffith put on an AstroTurf while the PNM government can't put on one for the hockey players up in Tacarigua. The groundsman was fired. 5,000 a month. Miss Ramlagan says, and I quote in the Newsday, Johnson Lavonde, Ramlagan said the decision to dismiss the contract workers came after a review of employment, and those dismissed earned above a certain amount. Wow. Well, I want to know how 5,000 is above 15, approximately. How 5 is above 15. Because this man, Miss Ramlagan and Jacobs, mommy and daddy bust this one throat. Yeah. But this one up here still have work. The next daughter up here still have work. And the next daughter up here still have work. Senator Paul Richards, please. I want to read.
Oh my God.
I want to read something. This is disgusting. This is disrespectful. This is like a fish market. How can you fire some people and you cannot hire both people? And it is so undemocratic and it is unfair. I cannot take it. I waited to read it in the papers, boy. Mr. Paul Richards. And Senator Massa. Massa, they done, boy. Go back in your hole. Good evening. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, Senator Roberts.
Good evening.
It really wouldn't surprise me if Miss Ramlagan and them hire a waka man to see about the AstroTurf, you know. I want to say something about the PNM policy, too, if you allow me.
Yes.
The policy that this fits under is the PNM policy of what we can't see, we go squander. And that's the exact words for the Procurement Act. If you look at the Procurement Act and those words, what we can't see if we go squander, you should be saying that in the Senate. And besides that, they go buy about 3 lawnmowers and 2 Wakaman to see about the AstroTurf.
To see about the AstroTurf. Oh, Lord. 218-7762. Good evening, good evening, good evening.
Yes, Randy. And the delegates at the conference said that between 2015 and 2021 was the hottest period I've ever experienced. When they interviewed the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, he said he begged to differ. That isn't so. He said we had a lot of significant rainfall this year. The rivers were overflowing, the streets had plenty of water, and the drains were clogged, and everybody was cool, gone.
218-7762. So, Miss Ramlagan, we didn't ask you about the hiring practice. All you didn't say that the 19 people were hired through a wrong process or wrong practice and so on. Nobody asked you about that. Your daughter went through a process, she get hired. We talking about the firing part. How the 19 get fired and all your 3 children still have work. Good evening.
Hello? Hello?
Hello. You listen to the radio, don't listen to the radio, listen to the phone. Hello. Bye-bye. Right? So, the mother of attorney hired by the police under former police commissioner Gary Griffith, but who was not fired during a cost-cutting exercise, said there is no nepotism involved. What say you, Senator Massa? Do you agree with that there's no nepotism? Because I think you would, because a sister could vote on a sister. Good evening.
Come let me talk to you about Anil.
You're live on the air, my brother.
This is Mr. Anil?
Yes, boss.
I watch you here on TV, you know.
Right. Nice, man. Talk.
All right, I'm talking. Tell Ansel Roger when he come into the march, walk with the Alex Coffey, one way he walk for Cabinet with. Let he walk for one for the Prime Minister now.
A bigger one. All right. Yeah, well, you see, I know it hard. Because I couldn't understand. When the ladies Prime Minister, all your people have work. A man come and fire everybody and you hug he up. I didn't understand, but let me stop. I forgive. Listen. Unfortunately, politics, you need quantity to win. So you can't be studying only quality, all right? Yeah. Quality is for Olympics. Hello, good evening.
Good evening again, Anil.
Good evening.
Anil, that situation in the Beatham, all right, with the stench and whatnot. Anil, in my humble opinion, it doesn't matter what part of the country you're from. It doesn't matter who you vote for. Citizens should not be treated like that. All the best. Have a great evening.
Agreed. Well said. Well said. And my point is even deeper than that. While you are absolutely correct, I can't criticize at all. But I would think that the PNM, who have been rewarded by the people of Beatham and Laventy since 1956, they may vote nobody else, that they should be treated extra special, that sewer should have been fixed quick like if it was in Goodwood Park. Good evening.
Good evening, Anil. I'm saying you and Kokiri and the listeners. What is happening, as the guy mentioned, Ansel Ruchi. You know, when that big oil spill, Roger was so qualified with oil union dues. But when that big oil spill takes place in the southwest peninsula, Roger didn't come and share any kind of expertise in helping to address that affect all the residents down here. 1 million scare them, and probably when they get a little kakada, you just shut them out. Have a good night. Thank you.
Good night. 218-7762. 218-7762. We have a few more minutes, 7 minutes. Let's take some calls. A real talk tonight, but I'll drink some water, boy.
Some water?
I gotta drink some water. You know?
We have other stuff. Juice we drink.
Juice and see drink. My belly getting too big. No football, no COVID. COVID lockdown.
This one is what?
Oh, Lord. Look, Vishnu sent a picture. Vishnu, I like that picture, boy. I like them two pictures. Yeah. Save that for tomorrow. douglAR politics tomorrow, eh? douglAR politics tomorrow. Right? Wow. Turn up that now, boy. Hello, I like that pan sweet, boy. That pan sweet, boy, cocky. Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay. Oh, I was supposed to do an interpretation I'll still do it anyway.
Do the interpretation, man.
Yes. Okay. Anil, this is Prime Minister Keith Rowley. And I'm telling you, you have 6 fingers on each hand.
And I'm going to slap you with all 6.
Check it. You have 6 fingers on each hand.
Yes.
Check it.
Oh, Lord. Have a good evening. And that was not a good That was not a good. Hey, after the show done,
Yes.
there was a young boy tune
Yes.
called Underwater. Underwater. You know that tune?
Underwater.
Yeah. Play that tune. And all you tell me, I tell all you. Rowley was singing in that tune. And he have the Trinidad and Tobago economy underwater. He have the farmers underwater. He have the roads and bridges underwater. He have the oil that spill, his boats cut it up and put it underwater. That is why the world send Rowley a message that they have no respect for him. They empty the auditorium and let him talk to 3 cockroach, 2 mosquito, and 1 bald-head wig-buying lady, right, who fast and out of place and telling Kamala she don't know about research, about the golf season in Scotland is between April and October. Nonsense! Golf is played around. Golf tourism, sport tourism in Scotland is all year round, including winter, because the winters in Scotland are mild, and the grass and the links you can play in the hallowed halls of golf at St. Mirren and St. Andrews. So, bald-head lady, you didn't even know not to use the taxpayer money to play golf. Right, but save that for after, yes. Right? Don't play that yet, but I the tune, yes. Don't put it down. I don't want no copyright thing to stop with Facebook. Right? But at 9 o'clock, as I say good night, you go throw up that tune for me.
Yeah.
And Vishnu and Archie, all you cut the stream at 9 because I don't want this copyright thing to shut down. People need to hear the talk, hear the facts after the show done. Not everybody could listen to we 6 to 9. You understand? Some people walking, some people doing other things. Oh Lord, Miss Barrett, boy, stop doing me that. Hello, good evening. The sweet boys of Baran come up there. Hello. Oh Lord, somebody just calling. All your PNM talk now, don't be afraid now, man. Hey, if all you want to debate, we go debate. Good evening, Cocky. Oh Lord, that tune sweet. Good evening. Hello. Oh, I got the PNM strategy calling. Oh, God. Well, Miss Ramlagan, since you're calling, the police HR director defends the process used in contract dismissals. The mother of an attorney hired by police under former police commissioner Gary Griffith, but who was not fired during a cost-cutting exercise, says there is no nepotism involved. And I am asking Senator Paul Richards, do you agree with that? That there was no nepotism involved? Do you require more information and debate? Would you like to get down to the facts of this matter? As 19 citizens, 4 of their contracts were not renewed and 15 of them were fired. Some have their contracts bought out and so on by Ms. Ramlagan and DCP Jacobs. But yet DCP Jacobs' 2 daughters still have work, and they were renewed contracts by Commissioner of Police then, Gary Griffith. Miss Ramlagan's daughter was hired by Gary Griffith. How were those 3 family members not fired while others were fired and terminated? And what requires more investigation is the lie told by Miss Ramlagan, because Miss Ramlagan said the decision to dismiss the contract workers came after a review of employment, and those dismissed earned above a certain amount. But Miss Ramlagan, you've been caught lying, because the groundsman who was fired makes less than your daughter, Miss Ramlagan. Oh. So you lie. You understand, Miss Ramlagan? So I think you should resign and come out. Because anyway, you fit into the norm in Trinidad and Tobago. You fit into the normal Keith Rowley interfering because he lost confidence with Gary Griffith and writing a police service commission that he should not interfere or interface with because that is misbehavior in public office. And then when the list reached by the president on August 11, she allowed it to be withdrawn by the police service commissioner, the chairman, who had no authority so to do, and it was in breach of the constitution, section 1, 2, 3, 4. But nobody cares because the people who are supposed to defend the constitution, i.e. the independent senators, them happy with that. All of them read section 123.4, and they believe that the president had the discretion to allow the police service chairman, without the majority approval of the other commissioners, to withdraw a list that was duly delivered to her. When the word shall means that she's duty-bound to send it to Parliament. The 9 independent, beautiful, brilliant independent senators who are so amazingly brilliant by themselves all read that section and disagree with every other attorney and every legal luminary on the planet. We gone. Good night, Archie and Vishnu. Cut the stream because we going and play a tune. Cut the stream. Cut the stream. Good night. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Stay safe. Social separate. Whether you vaccinate or no vaccinate, don't go and get no COVID, because once you reach in the ICU in Trinidad and Tobago under the PNM, you're just dead. Archie and all you, listen, Rowley coming. Look, Rowley in this tune, all you go hear him when he coming underwater. Your whole country underwater. All you underwater, the economy underwater, the crops underwater, the road underwater, all of we lives underwater. With Rowley drowning we are gone. Good night.